Sideline of goal! Late winner's doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Vernon! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Monopoint's there! He's still alive! Wait, seconds left! He's going one time! He's going a second! He's taking it! Oh my God! On three! They're all dead!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's the Summit 2 by G2A.com. America, we're in day number 7, and we have 4 best of ones for you. We've already made our way through 2 of them, and now we're looking on to a next matchup between NaviUS taking on Not Today. This should be a huge match considering NaviUS right up there at the top of the heap right now, 3-2, one of the favorites to come out on top of this whole thing, and Not Today currently sporting an undefeated 3-0 record. So this is a battle of the big ones here. F4L, you got to go. Instead, going to be joining me remotely, back again, my good friend, the modeled in my guy, Mr. Travis Motbueno. My friend, are you there? Can you hear me? Nope, I can't hear you. Maybe that's my fault. Hold on here. Oh, boy. How you doing? Mott? His mouth ain't moving. Maybe he ain't back yet. Oh, boy. If you're there, Mott, type to me. Type to me in Dota. Let me know you're there. Please. No. He must not be ready. Maybe I went too early and didn't get him. Oh, well. I guess we can kind of roll with the punches until he does find his way back. And he'll just eventually sneak his way in. But a matchup, like I said, NaviUS taking on Not Today. It looks like with the coin flip advantage, NaviUS have decided to take the dire side. And Not Today have also opted for second pick, so that allows NaviUS with first pick and dire side. And they use that first pick to grab a hold of Death Prophet, who made her way for the first banning phase. I haven't actually seen Death Prophet in quite a while, interesting enough. So this will be her first debut for the day. And on the side of Not Today, it's going to be Ember Spirit as the first grab. Man, Smash has been abusing this hero as of recently, and they followed up with the Elder Titan. Elder Titan, though, not typically a first grab. This leads me to believe that they're looking to do something with some heavy Amplify right now. I mean, you put Elder Titan together with, let's say, someone like Ancient Apparition with his Ice Vortex, and anyone who could do just heavy burst, and that could be quite significant. And really, you need heavy burst when going against someone like a Death Prophet. So that could be the game plan already for Not Today. So NaviUS, they fire back. They grab their first support of the game, and it's going to be Mr. Ogre McGee. At least I imagine for now it's a support. They could always change things up.
10 seconds remaining.
But more than less, people have been running as a support. You know, big, tanky, bad boy, naked, 7 armor, 2.5 health regen. The numbers that we keep talking about every time we see the frickin' hero, and you see it time and time again in these games. He just has the potential to dish out heavy burst, especially when he gets a hold of an Agnum Scepter. One of the few heroes that benefits from not just a stun, but a stun and a slow. You know, put him in that category along with Jakiro, along with Crystal Maiden. And you got a lot of tools to work with, but he's the most durable of them all, so he can zone back an offlaner pretty easily. So if he's going to be put in contention against someone like Elder Titan, then, well, you know, look for him to, like, zone him back out. Mott, I see you. Do you want to try talking again? I see you. I don't know if you weren't back before, or maybe I just need to fix my Mumble program here. But your thing is muted on Mumble. I see no chat, the no chat icon next to your name, so I figure you're not available to talk
5 seconds remaining.
right now, or you can't. I'm not too sure. Hopefully we'll be able to get that resolved so I can have my Mott by my side once more. I'm just in need of my Mottness. And well, as the bans do progress, Navi, they get rid of that Earthshaker. They also get rid of the Necrophos, another hero that's been creeping his way into the play. Yeah, I am talking in Mumble. Let me look at this thing. Yeah, my thing is on. Let me reconnect. Here, I'll disconnect and reconnect the Mumble and see if that does anything here. Let's see. Connect back in. Hello? Hi. Yeah, hello? Mott? Yeah, my lips are up. And it's being a bit weird. Let me double check the microphone input. This is the production value that we got here, folks.
10 seconds.
And yeah, it should be good. It's all connect, and it's the same as before, and F4L had no problem, so...
All right, I don't know what happened, but...
Oh, boy. There he is.
Reserve time.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's
happened
okay.
there?
NaviUS
Hi, Mod. How you
turn to
doing?
pick.
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm good. Let me just go ahead and I'll bump up your volume on my end a little bit so we can make sure that everyone can hear your beautiful voice right there. There we go.
All right.
Welcome, my friend. Welcome. I'm just glad you're there. You're healthy. You're alive now. And you'll be able to join us for this exciting matchup, man. NaviUS, not today. I like it, man. Now that you're here, what are you thinking?
I'm excited. Again, these two teams have sparred off quite a few times, and
10 seconds
you know,
remaining.
I'm just excited to see. First and foremost, NaviUS, they have us standing
5
in,
seconds
and that's very
remaining.
exciting for me. This guy he's quite the player. We've talked about him before when he played for Sneaky Nick's Assassins.
Reserve
Now that he's
time.
playing for NaviUS, I don't know. This could be pretty good with this new lineup here. We'll see if he stands in or if he, I don't know, what the future plan is here.
Yeah.
for
We saw
NaviUS.
his first real debut on the side of NaviUS yesterday, and ironically they went against the Sneaky Nick's Assassins, so that was interesting to see altogether because it was almost a battle of two bitter rivals. Now NaviUS did fall short. They kind of had a weird drafting pickle where a Omni
10
Knight
seconds
pick that came out
remaining.
from the side of Sneaky Nick's Assassins really kind of faulted the game plan for NaviUS, and then they had to opt for a core
Radiant
last
team
grab
pick.
and someone that could probably pick up something like a Diffusal. It ended up being Marana, so Ush played Marana, which is not something he plays very often, but he still brought in a lot of farm, but ultimately it was the Sneaky Nick's Assassins who came out on top. So that put NaviUS down now to 3-2, and they're a strong, confident team, one of the favorites to come out, if not the favorite to come out on top, and you know they need to bounce back hard with a win here, but not today, who have been showing
10
world-class play.
seconds remaining.
I mean, I guess for NA Dota, I don't know how deep you want to look into that, but
5
they're still
seconds
undefeated,
remaining.
3-0. Smash Dota, what really you can say about that? And he's been playing Ember Spirit almost the whole way through. And
Reserve
Ewo,
time.
if given the opportunity, will grab up a Morphling and really just kind of hit it home.
Yeah, I mean, they have been playing absolutely outstanding Dota. They have 3 victories and 0 losses and a couple of close games as well. They've really shown their stuff here, and now they are going up against probably, like you said, one of the favorites. The Death Prophet has been picked up for NaviUS, and we'll see how things change up. Now, I'm interested. Did Korok play the off lane with this recent lineup? Is because I know he wanted to play that for the longest time.
No, it's been Snake King. Snake King has been playing the offlane now because Ush has stepped in to be the point man. They've put Snake King over in the offlane position where, you know, he's been playing like a Tide. He played Centaur previously, but I mean, to be honest with you, Mott, Snake King is Snake King. And, you know, he
really
made
is.
some questionable choices the previous game. There was a moment where he got caught out in the bottom. He initially had money for a buyback, which they could have
NaviUS's
desperately used, but he
turn
made
to
an
pick.
investment in a Reaver that he thought he could sell at that point, but he couldn't. And then ultimately he was not there to make the last hurrah defense for NaviUS. And, you know, hopefully they can kind of shake this all out. You know, there's still, like, a feeling out period, especially now with bringing in some young talent like Ush. They're just going to need to kind of work with this new bit of chemistry to find a nice rhythm.
Snake King is one of the very few players where, like, he shows flashes of brilliance occasionally, and then other times he's just like, yeah, I forgot to press my BKB, and I'm just like, what are you doing, man? Come on! Like, use your abilities, use your buttons, use what items you have, stop throwing the game. Like, you gotta be able to do this stuff. And Snake King, I feel like, and that's been the biggest issue with him. Like, he's a
10
great player
seconds
when he
remaining.
wants to be and when he's focused. But there are other times
Oh,
when
yeah.
you just hear the horror stories
5
of Snake King,
seconds
you're like, well,
remaining.
I don't know what else I expected.
I know. I mean, we saw when he is on point, though, it's
Reserve
something that
time.
it's quite the spectacle. I mean, one of
Exactly.
the top-notch performances I remember from TI4 was that Naga game, and he like pretty much put the whole game on his back and brought it on in, and it was
Right.
just real impressive play. But when something in a game like Dota, which can be very precious, and if it's a neck-and-neck kind of a game, and you get one of those big slip-ups, you know, you really hate to be the guy that everyone calls out to, but you know, it could be the game changer, and it can just, you know, fall drastically down the tube very quickly, and that's just what we see, especially in this recent patch with this new rubber band factor and the potential for a lot of big comebacks and big plays. Even last game,
10
it looked like
seconds
for the
remaining.
longest period of time, Stay Free were not going to be able to get back into it, but on the back of a
5
couple of smart
seconds remaining.
pickoffs, you know, Trout being able to take it home with great kills, excellent wisp play, maybe a lack of focus from Union Gaming on taking out the wisp. They came right back into
Yeah.
it and took it, and now they have the first win. So
Yeah.
you got to make sure that you're just always on point. You know, make sure you have a nice strong breakfast. Even I don't know what it takes, but you know, a lot of these teams are scrimming beforehand. They want to make sure they get their warm-ups out of the way, and you know, we'll see what happens here. As NaviUS, as they progress with their
10
off-lane
seconds
pick, I would
remaining.
imagine Bristleback going to be picked up here. And for not today, they get a great gap closing
5
support,
seconds
a heavy
remaining.
initiator, and someone who's going to look to farm up the jungle and get that blink. It's going to be Sand King.
Yeah. You talked about the previous game. I had the luxury of watching it, and I got to say, Crit had some fantastic whisk plays. The relocates were absolutely on point, saving the PA's life more than once, and just not giving up when it looked like there was about like a 10,000, if not more so, lead in terms of net worth going the way of Union Gaming. So there is always the potential comeback factor in this patch specifically, and obviously when you play up against these teams that they maybe don't know how to close out games. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you look at NaviUS and you look at Not Today, either team could throw a lead if necessary. So.
Okay. I was fearsome for a moment we might see the Morphling again, but we're actually not. It's going to be what looks like an Evo Phantom Assassin, unless they switch it up and Smash opts to take like a mid lane PA here, which I would more wager it's going to be Evo taking it. So you're not seeing your typical synergy with PA like we've seen many other times from other teams, whether it's getting a hold of a Magnus, an Ancient Apparition, an Ogre Magi, someone to help her amplify either her damage, her attack speed, Wisp as well, like last game. They don't get the benefit of any of that. They do have Natural Order, which certainly can add tremendous power there. And they have a reasonable lockdown. I mean, a lot of it. Ember Spirit with the chains. Elder Titan has a sleep. Marana Arrow can work. Sand King, of course, Burrow Strike. And, the slow already from PA. They have a lot to work with here. But look at this. Last grab is going to be Lifestealer. We got an Ush Lifestealer, folks.
That's huge. This is not something I don't think anybody was expecting. And I'm excited for it. They do have the Magic Community now. And guess what? I mean, if you have Rage, doesn't care about, Elder Titan's Natural Order to a certain extent, doesn't care about Sand King's Burrow Epicenter, doesn't care about Arrow. Yeah. Lifestealer is such a great pickup here, and on top of that, they have to find a way to deliver him in terms of just the Nake's bombs. I don't know what they have, really. You don't really have a Blink hero. You don't have really a big initiation. Maybe Death Prophet if you're running at somebody. But I don't think that's part of their lineup. The lineup here is get Ush farmed, get him some right-click items, and try to go toe-to-toe against Ewo on the PA. So it might be tough,
I could tell you what. I mean, I don't want to sound too biased in this, but this boy can farm up. I mean, for God's sakes, we were playing a pub, and he almost carried on home with a Crystal Maiden as a core. It's just absolutely out of control what he can get done, regardless of what hero he's put in front of him. And he's going to have to do that with the Lifestealer, a hero that now in this new age of Dota, you have to primarily save it for like a favorable last pick when you know that all the cards just kind of work out perfectly. When you have a new age where you're seeing a lot of like Faceless Voids and these kind of heroes that don't care about Rage or don't care about BKB, Bat Riders and, even a Clockwork here, that can just prove to be Lifestealer's like true nemesis, as he's not going to be able to get in there and really make the fight happen and constantly kite it about and lock down. But without the vehicle, technically, like you talked about, on the side of NaviUS, it is still going to be a bit finicky as far as how Ush is going to get himself into the fray. I mean, they do have a reasonable slow there with your Bristleback. Of course, Ignite adds additional slow from Fogged. I mean, this is Team Slow, for God's sakes. And really, aside from that, though, a Yules that could come up here on Korok's DP, the stun isn't too significant for them.
What I do like from NaviUS is that if they want to, they can absolutely run dual lanes. You see a Lich, and then all of a sudden you think about dual lanes. Putting Lich in a tri-lane, not necessarily the best idea. It will secure a lot of farm for Ush, as they will have the sacrifice going. And this means that Mihawk's not going to get a lot out of this lane. And on top of that, this is a very gankable Elder Titan. So there is ways to take him down. So not today. They're going to secure a lot of farm in their safe lane. It's going to be a close matchup mid. We'll have to see how that does go here, as Smash versus Korok should be interesting because Flame Guard versus Crypt Swarm is pretty nice, but Korok still has plenty of right-click damage, especially with the early Null Talisman and 3 shared tangos as well. So he actually has a decent amount of right-click, and this is going to be, I think, probably the microcosm of the game is how the mid lane goes, because you're going to get farm for your safe lanes for both safe laners, so we'll see.
Yep, Death Prophet, who had been queen of the mid lane for the longest period of time and still primarily banned out, will sneak her way into this one here as he goes toe-to-toe with Smash, who's a very, very formidable mid lane player and has plenty of games under his belt playing this Ember Spirit. So I guess without further ado, as we hop into game number 3 today, it's the Summit 2 by G2A.com America. And on our third matchup here between Not Today and NaviUS, I'll lead off introductions. Radiant side, Not Today. It's going to be Mihawk playing the offlane Elder Titan. Mid lane, we got Smash playing once again his Ember Spirit. Along the bottom, a trifecta here of Masoko. He's playing your Marana. We got Ebo, who's playing your PA, and Mist Cow, who's playing your Sand King. Make sure you got to emphasize that cow, Mott. He has it capitalized now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why. He made sure, I guess, everyone, I've heard the pronunciations go from Miscode to Mystico to Miscowed, and I don't know.
He's got Mist Cow now.
Yeah. So, did you introduce everyone from Not Today?
Nope, I did. Yeah, everyone not today, didn't I? Yeah, I think I did.
You did.
Didn't
all right,
I?
my apologies.
I think I did. Now, you made me even second guess myself.
Well, listen. I'm just making you think extra hard here. Korok is going to be in the mid lane of your Death Prophet. Top lane, it's going to be way too sexy. Your support Ogre Magi will have Ush playing your Lifestealer. Down bottom, it is the dual lane. Fog playing your Lich, and it's going to be Snake King, your off-lane Bristleback.
Changing it up again, 2-1-2 lineup, not leaving Snake King by his lonesome. Now Fogged is going to be able to be there and aid out with the early couple of sacrifices right there. It's going to allow Snake King to get a lot out of this offlane. That, of course, will force not today's side to kind of get these creeps pulled all the way through, which he will get right here. No, he doesn't get it. Uh-oh, aggro not there. Now we're going to have a double wave on our hand, boys. This is going to work pretty nicely for NaviUS. This is a slip-up that I can make from time to time, and it can prove to be quite troublesome. As now they have a big wave of creeps that are going to press on forward, and they're going to have plenty of CS to bring down on their side.
Yeah, and this is actually really big. I mean, this is going to be sneaking handy up level 2, maybe even level 3, because they have Sacrifice, they get that extra bit of experience. And with Sacrifice, that means they're just going to continue to harass Ewo. They have to be very careful. This is a very potent lane in that bottom lane for NaviUS. Meanwhile, Ush is going to get free farm top. Mid lane, Korok is having a fantastic time. Smash can't get that close without taking too much harass. So, Not Today are in a bit of a questionable position right now. We'll see if they can get things going in just a minute.
Still pretty early as we get ready to approach the 2-minute mark here. Anything can definitely happen, but those little mistakes in a very crucial early game can prove to be a problem down the road. Is when it comes down to the point of what hero gets level 6 first could definitely change things about as far as the first breakouts of real skirmishes. So, working for now though as way 2, he's finding a reasonable amount as far as supporting goes. Not going to be too threatened here by Mihawk. Even if he keeps throwing out the Astral, this is a thick-skinned ogre, sexy as ever. Able to kind of prevent him from getting off any sort of early harassment. And we are going to see early movement. Not typical from your Sand King a whole lot. They like to more just find the stacks in the jungle and fall back on those later. But they smoke up, and they're hoping to get a Burrow Strike arrow here, potentially in the mid lane where Korok has been taking advantage, and he's going to be in trouble. Burrow Strike arrow will catch right in front perfectly. Smash moves on in. This is going to be your first blood right now, and it's the last right click coming out from Smash that secures it right now. Not today. Strike first.
That's exactly what Not Today needed to get back into this. You don't see a Sand King get involved a whole lot, but you mentioned it. Sand King comes in, they set up a kill, and that actually secures a bit more farm for Smash. I mean, that's exactly what they needed. Otherwise, this game starts rolling out of control. It's all about rotations when you have that Mirana. Searing Chains does come in, and Korok will exchange usage of the Crypt Swarm there, so Smash has to back away. And back to farming we go for both squads. Miss Ko or Miss Cow now in the jungle. He's sandstorming. He's level 3. That's actually huge. That kill did get him up to level 3. And now he'll be able to just sandstorm the jungle for a long time until he gets to that pretty early Blink Dagger, I'd say.
And they have stacks already built up over here. This big stack has got 3 already in it. So that Sand King is going to get his Blink mighty quick. And, of course, Masoku, who's been doing a fantastic job, got a nice rotation, and that's what you want to do with Mirana, though. Heavy rotations also mean lack of XP. She's still only level 1, even after getting that pick-off kill, but, she can linger nearby this Sand King, and they can build in a little bit of extra XP just from what he's getting for himself. But that does leave Evo in his lane by himself, and Snake King the opportunity to find a fair amount of farm for, like, an off-lane position kind of bristleback. 18-3. Pretty nice to have early on. He could go for the formidable Vanguard grab. One of the few heroes that can do so with now the new Crimson Guard pickup. That can certainly help. I mean, every little bit of damage removal certainly can add some fair utility to your team.
Yeah, I think against Ewo in this game, I think Crimson Guard is a pretty good pickup here. We'll have to wait and see what Snake King actually does pick up. But you mentioned he does have a good farm, and he's sitting really pretty. And a lot of that has to do with Fog. He's keeping him so safe. He even skills up the early Ice Armor just to make sure that the right click isn't really there, and Snake King can just take a beating. And he'll be good to go. And so I really like the choice of NaviUS to dual lane this. They can get away with it because the Sand King is in the jungle. Yep. He's not going to be coming into lane very often. He's just going to be farming the creep camp. So
most teams, when they see the Sand King grab, and NaviUS know they're Sand King. I mean, Fog is he's not called Mantis King for nothing. They know what to expect out of a Sand King. I mean, they didn't expect that rotation like even most of us did. We were just expecting more so. Crypt Swarm, no, not going to fall up there in the mid lane. Korok didn't get it quite yet, but does throw it out right there. But you don't usually expect them to rotate quite as heavy as even that early on. So now they're going to be going for it. They take advantage of either one of two things. They could do dual lanes like this, which is definitely working for them, or you could see them also go for more greedy support. Top lane, they're currently making a go on Mihawk right now. Rage popped in the open wounds and followed up with a sweet little way sexy Fire Blast, and they get their own kill, and now NaviUS get themselves on the board, taking down that Elder Titan.
Yeah, that's just Elder Titan. He has no escape mechanism. He really cannot stop them from ganking him, and just a smart play. I want to talk about mid because Korok, even though he died, you look at Smash and he's actually behind, or he was behind rather, in experience, and it's about even now. So even with a death on Korok, he's not only farming well, but he's also keeping pace in terms of levels with Smash. So that's exactly why they needed that gank. And they're going to try to set up for another one here with Misoku and Miskow. Miskow's at 1,500 gold. If they get a kill here, he probably is very close to his Blink Dagger and needs only a couple of stacks to secure him that item. We'll see where they go with this, though.
And Misoku smoked up, might turn all the way around the corner and try to get an arrow from behind, but no, it's convenient timing also for the rune to pop up.
The prize
Does
is
grab
mine.
it, and it doesn't seem like there's a ward. There is a ward, so they would have seen Misoku pop out of, or they would have seen the rune at least go down. So if they were paying attention, Korok should have the information that there's a potential smoke gank nearby, and he will hang a little further back this time, as you know, now Moran is not really getting a whole lot out of this experience, just kind of floating around in the jungle, aiding and abating anything that Sand King might want to look to do. But he's more focused on getting a hold of that initiation tool, which he's not going to be too far from. Looking base, though, with Ewo in this bottom, 30-3. Not too shabby considering he's been in this lane by himself for quite a while in comparison to someone like Ush, who's about 40. You know, I thought he would have a much trickier time, but that's the thing with PA, man. With that dagger that you could just keep throwing out, only 20 mana, and now with the benefit of crit, you can get some easy, safe last hits.
And the thing is also, though, he's going up against Snaking, who now is Warpath, and that's just frightening at this point in time. Snaking is becoming a force to reckon with. The levels are really going the way of NaviUS as well. You look at level 3 Mirana, everyone else is 5 in the game at the very least. Even way too sexy in the top lane. So the Mirana is, they're really sacrificing a lot to get the Sand King his Blink Dagger. They're sacrificing lane farm, they're sacrificing the Mirana getting farmed, they're sacrificing a lot. But if they make this early Blink Dagger work, if they can get some kills with Epicenter, then it's all going to be worth it. But Snaking gets caught out.
Radiant's bottom
Yep,
tower
nice
is
burrow,
under
followed
attack.
up with an arrow, and
Oh, that can't be
Snake
good.
King getting a little too overzealous, trying to contest the side camps right there. Ultimately going to get scouted out now. They know Sand King has been missing for a long, long time, and Misoko's been also lingering about, so all it takes is another rotation to come in from Ewo, and they make quick work of Snake King right there, and Bristle doesn't have a quick escape like a Bat Rider who could just fly to the low ground or something like that.
Miskow is like, wow, I'm going to have the quickest Blink Dagger ever. It's going to be about 8 to 9 minutes right now when Miskow picks up this Blink Dagger, which is huge. So NaviUS, even though they're expecting it, they won't exactly know it because there's going to be like a Smoke the Sea gank. Blink Burrow's going to come in. Meanwhile, Snaking going toe-to-toe with Ewo bottom lane. A couple of crits. There's blood everywhere. And Snaking has to
Radiant's
back
middle
away,
tower is under attack.
feigning at the sight of his own red blood, but top lane way too sexy. Ush is farming away. He's going for phase drum. No Midas coming out, so he realizes he wants to fight early. He doesn't want to try to take this lane. He wants to get involved. That's very important.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, we could even see a Sange and Yasha pop out from him if he does favor another one of the heroes that an item you don't typically get on most, but for a lifestealer, he can benefit a lot from it. But aside from that, your typical run of the mill, get a hold of a Basher, Abyssal Blade. But first, you gotta get the foundation. That being the drums.
Dire's
We'll have him
middle
complete now
tower
with the
is under
recipe in his
attack.
bank. Be ready to take that in. Touching base with Smash now in the mid lane Ember Spirit with his regen bottled up near 900 gold. Uh-oh. He's rotating to the top. Speaking of which, here is Mihawk. Might be in trouble. Dashing on in. They want to get a hold of Ogre. He gets chained down, and Ush not going to be able to offer a whole lot, unfortunately, as your life stealer can just maybe throw it at open wounds, but that's not going to stop Smash from what he started.
Yeah, I mean, good pick off. They pick off the support there. They at least get one kill out of it. They would have liked to have picked off Ush, but, I mean, Smash rotating out will get something. But this does leave plenty of farm for, I mean, you look at Fog. He's getting towards 6 in the mid lane. Korok is, I think, heading back home after taking a couple of creep camps in the jungle, I believe. He's level 8 now. Max Witchcraft. He's going to head back mid. Smash is going to get Frost Blasted down bottom. Snake King getting caught out. A lot of crits going the way. And all of a sudden, Ewo is able to man up because of his R button. Well, lack of R button, his passive even.
Yeah, what he
He's
seems to be
a nice
doing
job,
is
so.
he throws out the dagger there and will quickly go in, just do one hit. And if the hit crits, then maybe he can open up on him. Oh, Ush goes down top lane. Sand King putting right to use that Blink Dagger Epi, even catches him off his guard. And now they quickly realize that this Sand King got his Blink Dagger real damn fast. And unfortunately, not today. I mean, fortunately, though, for not today, they use it on the best target possible, getting a hold of that life stealer.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a huge pickup. The big thing for Ush, though, is he doesn't really lose money. He picked up his drum right before he died, a couple of moments before he died. So he lost very little when it comes to his death. However, gaining over some gold is going to be not today from that kill. Soul Ring is finally picked up at 10 minutes for Mihawk. This just goes to show how rough of an offlane this has been for this Elder Titan. However, the big thing is getting levels. Level 3 Natural Order, Level 4 Astral Spirit, and Level 1 Earth Splitter. This is very important to be effective later on down the road. So, I mean, he is getting a bit of farm now. The net worth chart was being led by us for a bit, but now Smash is leading the way with not too far behind Ewo. He's sitting on Poor Man's Shield, Aquila, and Phase Boots. We'll see what item he goes for. Maybe an early BKB coming out from the PA, maybe a drum instead.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to really take the chance to kind of tussle with a PA late in the game. And it was, you know, what was it? Pain? Not Pain. Was it Pain? I'm like off my mind. Union Gaming, who tried to take that same gamble, and they saw Trout really be able to unload and took the game right back. And that's not something you want to do, even against someone like Ewo, who's formidable and well experienced in bringing back huge late game potential, whether it be his Morphling or what. And now he's actually left the bottom lane for the first time, makes his appearance here in the mid. They might look to make an engagement possibly happen here. They have a lot congregated over for this one, and also NaviUS, a lot of them hidden behind the scenes as Snake King cleans out the rest of an Ancient stack with Way 2 nearby as a babysitter. Ush is now moved on into the jungle. He's sharing that currently with Korok, who's unfortunately got some frickin' mud golems here to deal with, but he is going to go ahead and bring them down, and he's trying to get a lot closer to getting a hold of that Yules.
He's got 1,000 gold to make. He's doing fine. Meanwhile, Snake King has a mech. He's got a full mech completed. We talked about him going the Crimson Guard or for the mech, and I'm kind of surprised. The mech did have a mana increase, so mana issues are going to be a little bit of a problem here for Snake King. I mean, you can Shred Switch, and hopefully you have somebody to give you Arcane Boots. Looks like this game, there's no such luck here. Everyone's going Tranquils for the most part, so
yeah,
we'll see how things do turn out. I imagine he'll go for a Crimson Guard eventually, but for now, it's going to be the mech, and this keeps them fighting fit. Yeah. We'll see. They smoke up as well. They're going to look for a potential pickoff, but they're splitting up. Snake King's going back to lane, and Fogged and Way 2 are wrapping around mid.
Yeah, they're going to head for mid instead. I mean, I guess the mech pickup there on Snake King does relieve some pressure from Fog to have to get it on his Lich. So they're just going to hang back for now. But both him and Ogre are still relatively poor. Just have a couple of boots and a couple of wards here and there. So sharing the same green shoes, the Tranquils. So no Arcane's going to be available here for Way 2. So a very finicky mana pool as it is on this Ogre as far as getting a lot out. But they're looking to get done here. Top lane, Mihawk has been the weak link as far as laning phase, and they want to keep punishing him here. And Ush would love to be able to benefit from another kill after being picked off earlier.
Mihawk has really great positioning, though. It seems like he understands what's going on. He's going to back away. He'll actually send the Spirit up, and that won't get vision yet, but they're very close to spotting these heroes out. And we'll see. Meanwhile, mid lane, this is going to give Smash more room to farm. You see Misoku, he's trying to get up to level 6. He has really nothing. He's the poorest. But as long as the rest of his team is getting farm, he doesn't seem to mind. You mentioned Croc getting into the Yules. It does have his Seth Wizardry coming out, so there is at least that going for him. So,
all right, and we'll see here. Yeah, rotation from Sand King. It looks like not today have plans of their own here on this top lane. They smoke up Mirana and Snake King. I always say, now I said Snake King for Sand King. Sand King has his Blink Dagger. Once again, Epi going to be available, and they want to put it right to use here as they smoke up and maybe consider baiting out this Elder Titan, which we'll see if NaviUS want to take that bait. They don't. They want to rotate instead to the bottom and take advantage of Snake King here with that new mech and hopefully grab a kill on this PA if possible, but that might also prove to be a hard task to take.
They're baiting this really well. Way 2's just sitting here, and of course inside of him is Ush. With this being mid lane, there's going to be a Burrow Strike on Fog. Arrow's going to sail through. Zerg Chains, they blow up poor Fog. He's caught out of position. And double damage from Smash. Meanwhile, Snake King getting brought low by Ewo with the right click coming in. Ogre's like, I don't know if I want to fight this. Way 2's walking around. They're looking for a Fire Blast on Ewo, but here's the rest of the squad from Not Today. Way 2, Fire Blast is going to go in. There's the multicast. Oh, he can't leave up to the high ground, and Ush is going to go to work. They will get one kill, but they do lose Korok at the back end of this. It's probably not worth it for NaviUS. Their tower is about to fall. Fire Blast is going to go, but they do get the tower. Moonlight Shadow is going to go. It's about to wear off. There's going to be the Earth Splitter.
He gets stunned before he can get it off.
Yeah, he's done.
Man, oh man. Now they don't have the benefit of the extra sustain. Ush, though, not done yet. Opens wounds, calls out Rage, opening up here on Ewo. Can he bring him down? Long ball, Chain Frost comes in and secures it for Fog. Back from the dead. The Cold Undead King manages to get a nice ultimate, but the ult needs to bounce back into it, and Ush ultimately gets focused down and taken apart. And the Lifestealer will fall. Still a big trade. And in favor, I would say, for Not Today, taking down Ush and Snake King and Korok.
Yeah. That's a huge fight going their way, honestly, for not today. That's just... It was kind of like NaviUS were like, do we want to fight this? Do we want to go in? Do we want to back up? We want to deny the tower. Can we deny the tower? Do we have our ultimates? What do we want to do here, guys? So a lot of questions being asked and not really much done on the side of NaviUS. So they end up losing a lot of heroes. And they give up more farm to Not Today, which both heroes, I believe, are going for Battle Fury. Evo has his Ring of Health, and meanwhile, there's a Claymore and Broadsword done for the Ember Spirit. So Smash is very close to his own Battle Fury. And Ush gets caught out with an arrow in the mid lane coming in from Misoku. So, I mean, even with Rage, he's still susceptible once that Rage wears off to absolutely getting blown up. So now for NaviUS, they got to find something. They got to keep the pressure on, despite them being down in terms of net worth.
A Vehicle Ogre at work once again here. As, leap to the high ground might cost, yeah. Hi, how you doing there? See you later. She tries to get away, it looks like from Fog, and puts herself right into the arms of all the friends of NaviUS. And now they're just going to move on bottom.
They could have kept Ush inside of Waits. They didn't need to have him jump out for that fight. Snaking would have gotten the kill with Quill Sprays, and they already expended, like you talked about, the leaps. So there's no real reason for him to jump out, but I guess at this point in time, it's fine. Smash picks up an Invis room. And Korok is having a rough time. He cannot get to his Yule Scepter. In fact, he is close. He does need the Sage's Mask.
Look how deep they're considering going. We got plenty of rotations coming in, and they don't know what's happening here. This could be a troublesome epicenter. Burrow Strike, they do get a hold of Snake King. Can he get his mech off? He can't again. He gets taken down before he brings it out. And he ends up falling. You know, the part of the problem with being the big bad Bristle is you're going to probably take the brunt force of the fight, but if you can't live through it, your mech's not even going to be happening here. And Misoku gets instantly ripped apart there. So a offlaner for support thus far, but with Exorcism now brought out, NaviUS are going to look to make a big push in this bottom lane.
That's going to be huge. Smash, though, comes in with the Searing Chains. Blink Burrow onto 2. Korok in trouble. Falling low, but Misko in some trouble. Crypt Swarm brings him down. And NaviUS will grab the kill. They'll back away as well. They realize that the natural order, the right click coming out, a little bit too much damage coming in from Not Today. So the ult expended doesn't actually grab them a tower, but they do pick off 2 heroes in the process. So
yeah, it ends up working out relatively almost even, I would say, that they lose their Snake King, and they manage to take back both of the supports there.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, not too shabby for them, but as I look away briefly, they grab another one. It looks like Not Today quickly take down Ogre on this bottom lane, and it does go to Ewo. So PA, now 2-1 and 3. Perseverance complete, building a lot closer to that Battle Fury where her farm and cleave potential just gets way out of hand. Moonlight Shadow, rotation to top. They want Snake King here. Dagger flies out, and they're moving on through for it, and it looks like they might need some help of their own. On the side of NaviUS, as the Burrow Strike lands, Snake King might be caught out again. Gets the mech off this time, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. The Quills keep stacking, however, so that does force them to step back. Now with Fog coming in, has the chain, throws it out, but they quickly spread, and only one bounce is going to happen. Actually, it doesn't even bounce. It just hits the one time on Mihawk, which is not enough to take him down. Self-Yules will avoid the dagger, but they're not done yet. Smash on the hunt here, wants to finish off, gets silenced up. Korok, though, very, very fast, trying to get away from this one. Burrow Strike 4 doesn't quite catch on him, but they do get a hold of Fog. Multicast, though, in the return, takes down Ewo, but Smash grabs his own kill, taking down Fog and putting on an unstoppable streak. But jumping off to the side right now, Snake King locked in the corner against Miss Cow and takes him down. Now leaping in is Marana, trying to take out Ush. Can Ush get away from this one? He pops out the Rage, eats the right click, goes up to the north to get away from this one, and now they'll be able to take down the Marana. Huge turnaround fight right now for NaviUS. They only lose the Lich. The tenacity right now of NaviUS making their way through that fight. Snake King able to soak in all of that damage and continually bringing out the Quills allows NaviUS to quickly clean on through. And mind you, they didn't do that with Exorcism, which he now has available.
That was a beautiful fight coming in from NaviUS. A couple of great things. Korok silence onto 2 to make sure they couldn't leave. The Rage keeping alive of the Ush at the end of the fight there, getting arrowed down but still surviving. He actually picks up his armlet as well. The epicenter going, but, you know, taking most of the damage was Snake King, and he was able to just soak it all up, and they went to work, and they started right-clicking down. Snake King was the big factor in that fight. Viscous Nasal Goo, the armor reduction coming in, the Quill Spray stacking up, going to town. They grab a couple of kills, and NaviUS come out way ahead, and they take the Tier 1 tower. They're looking solid now at 20 minutes. They have 3 of the top 4 in net worth. Smash is the only one leading the way here. he does have that Battle Fury.
And
He's doing some work.
A huge turn back for him. I mean, the graph already shows it as it is. Korok, who was previously struggling to complete his Yules, now has over 3K saved up, ready to go on your Death Prophet. And man, oh man, now they do lose Fog, it looks like, down the bottom of the river. It was hard to see, so I'll just kind of draw your body death outline right here for your children. Fog does get caught out. Looks like maybe contesting or trying to go for the rune. Ewo now with that rune. Invis is going to be able to scout out. See Snake King here. They don't have any sort of detection, no sentry nearby, and they want to take him down, and they might be able to. There's a couple of stacks here also to finish up with after. Arrow also connects. Snake King will fall, and a stack will also be taken here from both Smash and Ewo. This is a nice take back now from Not Today.
Yeah, that's a really good stack for them. That'll get, I think, Ewo that much closer to his Battle Fury. In fact, he already has his Claymore just against the Broadsword, and obviously getting that much more farm for Smash on your Ember Spirit. But what can Smash do in the late game is the question. I mean, Ewo, he's behind right now, so he's got to catch up with Smash. And Smash is somebody that can really do well in the early and the late game, but in the mid game, he kind of wears out a little bit. But with the farm he's got, he's already getting close to his second Battle Fury. Claymore, Broadsword already done, another Perseverance, and then he'll have 2 Battle Furies. Then the damage is going to be ridiculous coming out from the Ember Spirit. So that might be enough to help them through the mid game and survive any onslaught coming in. They just have to fight really effectively around the Death Prophet Ultimate. That's the problem. It's Korok and his ZPL coming through. In fact, he already has a Mystic Staff. I'm not sure if that's going to be a Shiva's or a Scythe built up next for Korok.
Link in Burrow, making it go on way too sexy. They can't quite find the follow-up arrow path to try to lock him in his place, and now they turn their attention back, but they don't have the stun available to stop Sand King from TPing out. So Miss Cal makes his way out. They even dropped a sentry, but still not enough there to prevent him from getting away. Korok wasn't there in time with the Yules, but they are going to move on through. Bounty's going to be snagged. Can he get the Yules? He can. Yules. Arrow does catch on Snay, however. Silence follows up, and they're going to try to pursue here. They can't get a stun, though. Just too quick. He was able to run himself away. Instead, they're going to opt to go for Roche. They pull out Exorcism right now. And I imagine Not Today will know this is happening. They drop the Astral. The Astral's going to move right into the pit. And they're going to see this. Fog goes on in, who does have the Lich Ultimate available. And Roche is going to fall. No one going to make their way in. Just a simple Ultimate coming out from your Elder Titan. Not going to do a whole lot. So NaviUS can't quite get a hold of Ewo, but they get a hold of Roche.
That was a big smart play. They knew that Moonlight Shadow was on cooldown, and Korok is chasing after the Sand King. He'll just make his way out of there. So Sand King, by the way, has Veil of Discord. So that's pretty nice. And he's got some extra magic damage. Not if they really didn't need that. They already have the natural order on the Elder Titan. But I mean, I guess whatever works for them. I mean, more magic damage, the more the merrier, I suppose. So
yeah, that can make for a huge epicenter. I mean, he hops in, gets that down. Epi's doing big damage. Elder Titan nearby with that natural order could turn that epicenter into like almost full pure damage. So they're really going to test the will here. I mean, we'll see if a pipe is something that might also be considered maybe on your Bristleback. It wouldn't be too bad of an idea, but aside from that, the magic damage not quite as significant. It's just going to see how much of an impact that alone will make.
Dire's middle tower
Ush picked up an Ogre Club, so I think you're right about him going for an SNY. I mean, you could theoretically go for a BKB. Nope, there's the Sange. So it's either Halberd or at this point probably an SNY. So you called it. I mean, it's an item that not many people built, but a Lifestealer thrives on that chase potential from not only the main, but getting the extra stats as well. Move speed, what we used to call the race car Lifestealer, is now a thing currently coming out from Ush. So.
Especially without a vehicle, he needs to move a lot quicker to catch up to what the hell's actually happening, because now you have stuff like a Force Staff on your Elder Titan, which he uses right there, the Leap from Mirana, Burrow Strike Blink from Sand King. Right. He could also go a Force Staff himself. Like, all these heroes are going to be able to kite away from Ush very, very easily. And this is the drawback, of course, from your Lifestealer. And when Yules and Force Staffs are, like, of abundance in this recent, like, kind of a meta, it proves to be a lot harder for melee heroes like Lifestealer to be able to get to their target, which we'll see if he can get a hold of Smash right here. They get a nice silence off, but can they take him down before he's able to remnant away? Moonlight Shadow's also going to be there, and just like that, like magic, he's at bottom lane, but now he runs in the arms of Snake King. Snake King presses on forward, but he uses another remnant to get away. Ember Spirit is just a slippery bugger, and he's able to get away from not one, but 2 different engagements.
I'm surprised Ush hasn't gone for a bash this game instead of the SMY. I understand you talked about getting closer to heroes, and that's I mean, I imagine after the SMY he picks up a basher into an Abyssal Blade. Like, you almost have to this game because of the slipperiness of all of these heroes. So Misko is channeling his Epicenter. I don't know if he can bring down Ush. He might even use the Veil there as well. Now Evil comes in. Great usage of that Veil, as well as the heroes coming in from Not Today. And
DD on Ewo. If he gets a big crit, it could be like a one straight. Oh man, doesn't matter though. They have plenty of lockdown and
No
Ush
rage.
balls.
No rage coming out. Ush actually used it before he died there. He should have saved it for after the Aegis, and he ends up losing his life as well as the Aegis. Great pickoff coming up from Miskow, who was stalking him from the high ground. So Not Today now. They're thriving here. They're still finding a couple of kills, although the net worth, the graph, very close. The experience-wise, also very close. I mean, this game could go either way, and it really comes down to one big team fight, I think. And if Korok gets involved, he can certainly just do work with Exorcism.
It's really hard to say because on one hand, you got, okay, so if they try to get a hold of Ush and take him down, you're leaving someone like Korok there with a full-blown Exorcism to just rip apart your team. And you risk also getting distracted from the amount of quills that could be brought in from Snake King. On the other side, for Not Today, you know, if you don't really take down Ewo or get a way to take care of them, I mean, MKBs have to be something that they can consider here to just even break through the blur. And while that's happening, Smash is dishing out, you know, Sleight of Fist after another with huge cleave damage already, double Battle Fury. He can also quickly wipe apart the NaviUS's side. So it more so comes down to just proper positioning and execution from both sides and who can get great initiation, whether that could be a strong start from a Sand King to get a good Blink Burrow Epi follow-up, or maybe an arrow, or if, you know, Korok has managed to use his fast feet to catch up and get a good Yules off. But I have to say the initiation factor is definitely a lot better for Not Today.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem I have right now is NaviUS, they're going to start building towards items that really take, you know, PA and Smash out of these fights. You already have a Yule Scepter 1. You have the Silence coming up from Korok, which is just an inherent ability coming up from the Death Prophet. But you can see Snake King's already building towards the Sange. I don't expect this to be a Sange and Yasha. I expect this to be a Halberd. Halberd is so good against PA when you build Battle Fury first. You need to take her out of the fight, and that's one way to do so.
Yes.
I'd be very surprised to see anything other than a Heaven's Halberd coming out from Snake King right now.
I agree. I think that's key. I mean, if you... Epi, Blink in, Ush, again going to get caught out, and you talk about how much damage can that really bring. Well, there goes to show you. They take Ush near from top to bottom with maybe a simple arrow follow-up from Masoku, and the Lifestealer is down again, but Korok is quickly up to the scene. Maybe they're looking for redemption here. Yules, but they're not going to look instead. They instead wanted to get a hold of Sand King. It looks like they pulled back from Miranda. They could have followed it up with a Silence and maybe taken her down, but I guess the burst they weren't quite confident with, or maybe they just wanted a better target, but now Moonlight Shadow return. Uh-oh, Ewo now looking to go on in. If Fog gets caught out here, he could fall very, very quickly. Ewo does have his own Battle Fury now, and 3.3k. Huge amount of farm built up. Both himself and Smash just have so much farm. I mean, look at Smash, for God's sakes. He's got double Battle Fury and a Chrysalis. Look how much damage he's even doing to Snake King, but now he sees Ogre coming on in, and he'll have to pull on back.
Prize is mine.
Mihawk's going to try to get out of there. His Force Staff has been so damn good this game. It was a great pickup coming out from Mihawk. And one of the things that's keeping him alive, you talk about Mihawk, and the most often complained about thing for him in the offlane is that he tends to feed. But in this game, his positioning has been absolutely key. And that's really good for Not Today. If he stays alive, it's a lot like how Trixie was for Fnatic. And if he was staying alive, if he wasn't feeding, then Fnatic was going to win that day. It's the same for Not Today. And I feel like they're playing a fantastic game right now. And NaviUS, they've got a lot of work to be done here. A lot of work. And they really need to keep Ush alive more than anything else.
And we'll see how much they can actually make it work. As one of the other fun little like business synergy is, well, he got hit real hard right there. Smash definitely just kind of let it fly right there, and I couldn't even see the Sleight of Fist come in, but I saw Bristlebody's body hit the deck pretty hard as Smash cleans him out, and the damage is getting a bit out of hand. He's going to have a dayless damn near soon, and this Ember Spirit is going to quickly become your real problem, not even just the PA.
No, I mean, the Ember already is slippery enough for them to be really annoyed by it, so they've got to find a way to deal with Smash. Again, Abyssal Blade, and unfortunately, I mean, Ush can't even find his SNY, let alone his Abyssal Blade. He was like thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get this 25-minute, you know, SNY. I'll get to like maybe a 30-minute Abyssal Blade or at least Basher. So now all of a sudden his farm is sort of stagnated. And for NaviUS, they might have to go back into the Roast Pit to find something. They have yet to use really a Korok ultimate to take down a tower, to take down a team fight.
Yeah.
So
one tier 1 has been taken down. You have a Death Prophet on your team. You know, that's interesting. They just can't find a good opportunity. I mean, and the longer it goes, the harder it is to push as a group because those Sleight of Fists just get harder and harder. And my God, I mean, look at that. I mean, Fog, that's not even a crit arrow follow-up. He's done. Just takes 1, 2, 3, and your Lich is down.
yeah, Fog's usefulness is definitely starting to wane. He destroys the laning phase as a Lich, as you saw, but what can he do later on? I mean, when you've other supports like obviously Misoku and the Sand King who do so much work, I mean, he wanes in comparison. And now Korok is getting ganked in this bottom lane. Oh my god! They blew him up! He wasn't even there for half a second before he died.
Man, Jesus Christ, I wanted to quickly see the aftermath, but he goes down so freaking quick. And mind you, he has a Shivas and a reliable booster. It doesn't give him a lot of health pool, but the armor was there, but that doesn't hold a whole lot to the magic damage that you see. And Sand King, with that Veil, has been putting in the mileage right now and taking out core after core with it. With just a simple follow-up, it doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, this has been one of Misko's or Misko's best games I've seen him play in a long time. He is hitting almost every epicenter. He's got follow-up from his team. They're playing together. They're not getting caught out of position. They are just on point right now for Not Today, and they are looking to take this game, a big game off of NaviUS, and increase their lead here in the Summit 2. I mean, they're playing fantastically right now in these qualifiers, man. I'll tell you what.
If they were to take a win here, it would put them way up at the top, 4-0, with only complexity at 4-1 to really contest. And Navi, they want to get a win themselves and become part of the 4 squad, being 4-2, but 3-3, things start getting a little bit sketchy. We'll have a lot of teams in kind of the same position, all desperate to bring in wins and don't even want to be dealing with any sort of tiebreaker kind of situation. You want to secure a nice spot in those playoffs so you can get well rested. The more games you play can tend to get pretty exhausting before we get into playoff time. And now it looks like NaviUS going to go on the aggression here for the first time in quite a while. They pull us a nice smoke, and they're going to ride on through here. Regen's going to be here at the bottom, but we'll see if they go for the grab right now. They quickly sentry up. They're not going to see anyone there. They still need another about 30 seconds before Roche is indeed going to be up and available as Snaking pushes out this bottom lane, but instead they opt to pull on back. Roche wasn't up in time for him to quickly take it, but it will be now.
NaviUS are so scared they can't even cross the river to try to get farm on the opposing side. They can't take towers. This is just... It's slowly becoming just a game where they're getting choked out. And all of a sudden, over the past, I'd say 10 minutes, they've lost 7,500 in gold. So they have to find a way to take a fight that benefits them. But with the Sand King, who's now got a gem, they're going to lose all of their vision. Ewo has plenty of farm. He's got his BKB now. He's got his Helm of the Dominator. I mean, they are... This PA is going to start crushing the late game. Not to mention Smash, who we have mentioned a lot. This guy is doing work. Not today. It's going to take a lot for NaviUS to get over the hump here.
Certainly is. And now Snake King puts the halberd right there to use on Ewo, who tries to make a jump in, but it's more just kind of defensive. But now Roche is going to be up, and quickly NaviUS move on in for their opportunity to just take it. With that exorcism, it falls really, really quick, and it looks like Not Today are not going to be there to contest. By the time Elder Titan gets over there to maybe scout out with the Spirit, it'll be down. And it is. Sweeps on in, sees that the party's already over, and he didn't even get the invite. As the rest of NaviUS just kind of make the retreat out from the pit. We'll regroup and hopefully wait out until Exorcism is back up and ready before going in engagement. But that on the flip side, Not Today. Let's make a fight happen. Let's pressure towers. They don't have Exorcism anymore. They're going to look to move on in. They get a hold of Korok, who gets stuck behind. Self-Yules, all good for now, but he does fall. Gets a Shivas off before he goes down, but now they're not going to have the benefit from their Death Prophet, who didn't already have Exorcism, but now is just out of the game for a full minute.
Beautiful play from Not Today, knowing that without Exorcism they won't be able to fight. They kill the Death Prophet. That's actually just an added bonus they were going to try to push in probably and maybe try to take something, but now they can just put some pressure on the tier 3 tower. So without Exorcism, there's no reason for really the Death Prophet to buy back. Not that Korok has it. He has no buyback whatsoever. So now NaviUS are, I mean, yeah, you got Roshan, you got the Aegis, but you're still giving away so much farm to Not Today. And Not Today, unless they make a mistake here when it comes to them pushing up to the high ground, they should secure at least one set of racks in the next couple of minutes, I imagine, even with the Aegis up on Ush.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to press too hard here. It's only about another 30 seconds till Korok was up. And then 30 seconds after that point, he'll just about have his Exorcism ready to go. And then you look for NaviUS to try to go on the aggression, putting that Aegis to use. As Not Today, we'll have to step back, formulate a game plan, quickly deward a bit, and maybe go for a surprise pack factor themselves. But I think the ball is now in NaviUS's court to try to get something going. And if they shoot and it's an air ball, well, they could be going home empty-handed at the end of this game. So we'll see.
I think that Roshan was just a delay tactic for NaviUS to be able to find more farm and stay alive and have them not push into the base. Not today. We're at the point where they were probably getting the strongest in comparison to NaviUS, so they weren't going to push in. Now with the Aegis, they probably won't push in either. But I was saying that without Exorcism, without Korok, they could have tried, but they decided against it. So I'm a bit surprised they didn't go there. But they'll probably just continue to wait, maybe wait out the Aegis and go from there. But that doesn't mean that the Aghanim Scepter is now done for the Ogre Magi. So wait to... I mean, we've seen Ogres help out in the late game as well.
It's
so
true.
It's not unthinkable.
Yeah, Ogre getting a hold of an Aghanims is a surprising way to all of a sudden eat a heavy burst that you weren't expecting on your opponent's side. I mean, next thing you know, you get even just something like a 3 times and then a 3 times follow-up will be tremendous amounts of burst. And for a team that really doesn't have any BKBs except for Ewo, they could be on the back end of receiving heavy damage. Smash could even be quickly taken apart if they get a reasonable amount of RNG on their side. So, could be a great surprise factor for NaviUS that they could use to their benefit, but for now they're smoking up, and they're going to press on down this bottom lane, it looks like, towards where Smash is lingering. This Tier 1 tower, though, been standing for far too long. Lots of towers still on the map, lots of gold there for NaviUS to get a hold of, and more so, they're just on the hunt to try to grab something.
Well, the problem with smoking is that if all of your lanes are pushed out, top and mid are pushed out, then it's pretty understandable that, not today know that they're off the map. So, you looked at Smash, he backed away immediately when he was getting wrapped on in that bottom lane. Korok was the only one farming. So, I mean, it's just really, NaviUS are telegraphing all of their moves. And this means that Not Today could just play a bit more freely here. In fact, they're the ones smoked up now. They're in the mid lane here. And now Korok's going to walk out, and he's got to be careful. He does have the rest of his team around him. But it looks like Not Today. If they can get a pick off, they're going to go straight for the high ground here, and we'll have to see what they can get.
Oh, Burrow catches Korok. Korok might be in trouble. Needs to self-heals to set up a good opportunity while Ush tries to unload some serious right-click, but it's proven to be pretty hard. That fade just going to serious work. Korok ends up going down. He's forced to pull out his ultimate into Snay. Quickly pops out. Moonlight Shadow going to be dropped, and it's hard to really focus if you don't have proper detection now. Fog has already expended his ultimate, but not his Sand King. Jumps in with a big epi and clears out 2, including the Aegis of Ush, who's now back and ready to fight. Ewo does end up going down. Smash, though, constantly clearing out. Huge slide of fist able to come, and there it is again. A double for Smash as he's able to take down Snake King. Only Ush to survive. No buybacks whatsoever. This could be a set of racks. Easy. Oh, man. Well. Ush also eats the arrow. That's game.
That was an impressive game from Not Today. Everything from the beginning of the game to that last fight right there just shows why they're one of the best, not only in South America but North America as well. And that last fight was absolutely outstanding. They caught out Korok. They blew him up before his exorcism could really do anything. Ush was really a non-factor. They kited him out well. They only really lost Ewo in that fight. The epicenters, I gotta say, Misko, he's probably my MVP of this game. They played so well because of every single one that he hit. Yeah. And they gave so much room over to Not Today, and they take a huge victory off of NaviUS.
It's really hard to say who on Not Today didn't play that well. I mean, Mihawk, of course he struggled a bit in the lane, but he got a hold of his Force Staff. He offered a lot. Natural Order did huge damage. As you see in that kind of team fight, you put that together with already Smash's ridiculous amount of farm. He got 2 Battle Furies in what had to be like 21 or 22 minutes that game. It was out of control. Put a Daedalus on top of that, and it gets crazy. And unfortunately for NaviUS, man, the synergy wasn't quite there. It just doesn't seem to be work. It was just never really cohesive, unfortunately, for them. And they will fall short in this one. They now are going to be bumped down to a 3-3 record. And Not Today continue to look so dominant, remain undefeated, pushing now at the top, 4-0 for them. And we'll see how long the streak will continue, as we do have one more best of 1 for you today. Mott will stay by my side, and that matchup will be, oh my goodness, get my notepad out in front of my face, and it is going to be Gurg Squad, also known as the Ham Ham Clubhouse, taking on Turn My Swag On. So that will be a funky, fresh, real NA Dota, well, match, I guess you could say. Mott, your Twitter, we can find you over on Mott Dota. Myself, catch me on Coddle Guy. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to some sweet jams. We'll be back in just a hot second.